So everything we report on down there on the borders, by the way, we live stream it to the news channel. That way, the American people get to see exactly what I'm seeing right then and there. We don't cut, we don't edit anything. So
I think it's great what you're doing, and you want to. One question before we talk about what you have coming up, which I think is a great idea, and I want to help you get people down there with us. But you know Josh Fulfer with Oreo Express.
that I don't.
He's doing a lot of what you do as well down there at the border and actual reporting live and live streaming, but not at your level. Good heavens, Jonathan, be ready to write down the information to be able to follow him and see what's going on down there and what he's doing and his folks who are with him. Admirable. Very, very worth you getting involved to actually see what the media is not showing you or telling you. But
Right.
one thing I've asked Josh Full for this same question. How come when they come across the border and they're supposed to have walked thousands of miles, they're still overweight, they're wearing flip-flops, and they have nice, clean clothes on?
Yeah, they're being
Where are they,
bussed right to the wall.
where are they getting that? Where are they getting the nice, clean clothes?
Yep. So we've actually witnessed right there in the Tucson sector. There's several roads right on the other side of the border wall right there where they're walking right on in because of the big gaps in the wall. And we've actually watched the bus loads pull right up, unload them. We've got a surveillance team where we put in right there. And next thing you know, we'll go up in the interview and say, "Where you guys just come from?" "Oh, we walked for miles and miles." They didn't even realize we had them on camera being unloaded. Um, but no, you're right. These guys are in very clean clothes. I've seen them even having Apple iPhones on them, the whole 9 yards, well funded to no end. But you got to keep something else in mind, Charlie. These illegals that are coming through the border, they're getting the check right when they come through. You know, they're getting money. But now what they're doing, and Border Patrol just got done announcing it as well because they know it's happening. These illegals are coming through our border. They'll turn around, go back over into Mexico. A week later, come back in, and they get another check. You know, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 worth per whack.
According to
You do
Sheriff Lamb down there in Arizona, what is that, Pinal County?
yeah,
I'm not
Pinal
sure if I'm
County.
saying it right. He reported, yeah, they're getting debit cards with $5,000 on it
You
and
got it.
handed a free phone and set up with free service.
Yep.
What the hell? Why?
Oh, Sheriff Mark Lamb's furious. And you know what? I like Lamb, met with him personally. We're going to be doing some work together as well. But it gets to the point to where when does enough become enough? We know why they're being funded. Like down in Tucson right there, they took a veteran housing unit, kicked the veterans out, and they put the illegals in place. Right there, also down in Tucson. So any of your listeners listening here today, if you go down Airport Drive right there in Tucson where all the motels are,
Yeah.
when we were coming back from the border on one of our trips, we were driving down Airport Drive. Right there at the Comfort Inn Hotel right there, they had a big blue tarp over their sign. But you could still see it said Comfort Inn lit up through the tarp. Next thing I see is buses pulling into the parking lot there at the Comfort Inn. So I decided to set up surveillance for the night right at the Baymont Inn, right beside the Comfort Inn, right there on Airport Drive. So we sat there and we were recording busload after busload of illegals being dropped off at the hotel. The next morning, I decided to walk on over there, acting like I'm just an everyday Joe Blow. And I turned around and said, I'd like to rent a room. The management flat out said, we no longer rent rooms. And I said, really? Well, you got a lobby plumb full of people right here. And keep in mind, these were people from China, Afghanistan, everywhere, Mexico. But what also struck me about this is right there on their wall in the lobby, they had every country's flag symbol on the walls except for the United States. And this is the Comfort Inn and Suites right there on Airport Drive. So you got anybody down in that area, tell them to swing on by there and just do a surprise visit. It's enough to just disgust the heck out of you.
You want to show us strength. And that's what you are trying to orchestrate and put together. And you're going to need volunteers. You're going to need people who are willing. And I'm not talking about showing up guns blazing. I'm not talking about any kind of violence. I'm talking about just a show of strength. I think this is a great idea. You're putting the word out to biker groups. You're putting the word out to patriot groups. You're putting the word out to anybody who really cares to step up and has the guts to just stand there in solidarity. Thousands of us at the border going, yep, this is it. This is it. Our own federal government isn't taking care of our border. We're going to step up and do something. How is that going for you?
Well, let me show you this, then I'll send it to you, and you can put it out there to the American people. So this is our event we got coming up February 3rd. And we're actually going to do a pit. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. Got it. Truckers. Yep, got it.
So this is for everybody. Everybody in America that wants to be involved, that's tired of seeing our borders being invaded like this. Since our government seems to like to wear a good set of blindfolds, they're not going to be able to ignore this.
That's the truth.
So,
the media, do you think the media will actually report on it?
well, you know what? We've got a lot of media already saying they're coming in. We've also got senators coming in. We've got other law enforcement, sheriffs, police officers coming in for this event that are all right where we're at. They're all fed up. So,
Brother, this is fantastic that you put this together.
yeah, we're going to have it.
Where you? I mean, this is for heaven's sake, logistically, this has just got to be next level stuff. How are you handling all this? What's going on?
Well, first of all, I don't want to take complete credit for it. Me and my partner Mark Anthony came up with the idea, and then now, but you know, this is a we thing. This ain't I or you. This is a we thing for the where everybody's getting involved. You know, none of us want credit for anything. What we want is action. We want to see the American people finally stand up and say, why is this happening to America? And there's only one way to get that point across and just have tens of thousands of Americans show up.
We know there's not going to be motel rooms available for you. It's not going to be a glamping trip. You're going to be camping. You're going to be sleeping down there in all different conditions. So bring your own food. It's not like you're going to get to go hang out at the Denny's. You got to be thinking about these kind of things, just like the truckers did when they rolled across the country 2 years ago, and the convoy that went across the nation.
So what we're going to do,
sleeper cabs, but a lot of them didn't. They were like sleeping in their cars when they were part of that convoy.
So we're going to start having people arrive at the Great American Pizza in Golden Valley, Arizona. Robert Hall, who helped, he actually fed the convoy the last time with this pizza place, right?
I remember that.
Yep. So he already just got done getting off the phone with me today. He says, tell the convoy to come on down. He's got a lot of acreage there for us to park. There's a place there to eat. And we're just going to do it once again for the people from California, Idaho, Washington, Oregon. They can come on, stop in there on the way to Phoenix. And then from the Phoenix, the next day, we're going to roll into Tucson area. So this will be a good thing again.
This will be a great thing.
Yep. But the main thing I can't express enough, this has got to be a peaceful rally. We're going to have speakers at this rally, people that are going to speak out, including senators that are going to speak out. We want the American people to hear it. And the amount of footage that we've got that's going to be covered by news media, the right news media, should I say, it's going to get broadcasted out all over the country to where the other news channels are going to have no choice but to report on it.
I hope you're right.
But the best thing is we're going to have our own live coverage the whole time. That way, if they try to make up some fake news BS, we'll have the actual coverage of what really took place.
What's your goal for people, Jonathan? In a perfect world, what's your number you have in your head? You'd love to see this amount of people there show up for this.
You know, honestly, I'd like to see millions show up. But whether we get millions or not, that's another ballpark. But can you imagine, Charlie, the border wall right there? If we had a 1,000,000-man march down there on the border, everybody carrying American flags saying, our borders are closed, no more.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, can you imagine? You know, but you got to look at it this way: the Constitution told us we were to never have allowed this kind of a corrupt government.
You're
Why is
right.
America just sitting back in la la land watching it happen? Why are
Great
they
question.
watching our country being taken over? Why are
Good
they?
question.
Nobody seems to care until it hits their home front, or they got a family member that dies from fentanyl, just like your Congress guys. None of them give a darn until something happens in their family, or their loved one's raped by an illegal, or their loved one dies from fentanyl overdose. And then all of a sudden they want to speak out about it. But beyond that, nobody even acknowledges it really. Not in my opinion. They,
There's a softness, and there's not a lot of strong people like you right now. So we're going to have to whip up some strong people, get them off the couch, and quit being so complacent and apathetic. Now we're going to have to do it quickly, or we're not going to be able to turn this around. There will be no coming back from this.
yeah. Well, again, people are all worried about the 2024 election coming up. They're not going to have to worry about that election if we ain't got a country left to fight for. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, even Carrie Lake announced all over live news that America is officially at war. And a lot of people said, "How can she call that a war?" Well, let me tell you how. I don't know if you know who Paul Jones is. He's running for California Assembly.
Yeah.
But I had him down at the border with me. Paul's a former Vietnam veteran. He was in Vietnam on 2 tours. The day I took Paul Jones down to the border, Paul was like, "My God, Alexander, I felt like you took me back into Vietnam." We
Yeah.
had machine gun fire, we had IEDs going off, we had rocket fire going off. And he said, I would have never believed this until being right there on the border myself. Um, but that's what it takes. I mean, if that's what it takes to wake these senators up or people running for office that they can get the right message out to America and have firsthand experience. I mean, our team's been shot in that, for God's sakes. But it doesn't stop us from going down there and getting the real news out to you guys because you guys don't see it unless we're right there on the front lines.
I don't know if you're making any money off of this. I
I
know
don't
that
get paid a dime for my work. I do
I
this on
figured.
my dime, and it's all
I figured.
because nobody else is going to pay for these kind of stories. So if we're down there reporting it, I lost my wife in 2019. She passed away. After that, I dedicated my life to the border and just been nothing but down covering this stuff, getting it out to all of America.
Where do we find you? How do people follow along and get involved and help?
Well, on my Facebook page, it can go under Johnathon Townsend Alexander. Jonathan is spelled different. It's JOHNATHON, and then Townsend Alexander. We do have a donate link there. If somebody wants to donate for the cause, donate whatever they want. But beyond that, Charlie, I don't ask people to pay me for anything. My mission from God is to get this out to America. And, I've gone into prayer about this so many times. I can't express that enough. There's days I felt like just saying, I quit. And then I prayed to God about it. And it's like God just grabs a hold of me and says, "I'm not done with you yet, son." And, I've built up a lot of followers on Facebook. Think I'm up to 21,000 or something like that.
Brother, we got to get you on something else. We got to get you something that cannot be taken away.
Yeah.
And off air, I want to talk with my producer Kirk Deshawn, or maybe he would even be willing to pop on right now and discuss maybe a different way. Because I don't know about you, but I'm on my 20th 90-day restriction on Facebook. They've all but shut me down. And you're talking about much more real things often than I do. I can't believe that Facebook hasn't taken you down yet, but I'm guaranteeing you're being shadow banned. People probably aren't seeing what you're posting on there. We need to get you on something else. Are you on anything else?
I'm on YouTube. I'm on Rumble now. I just created a Rumble page as well. Just starting to get a few followers on there, but
Where do we
beyond that,
find you? How do we find you there? How do we find you on YouTube? Because
everything's under
YouTube is
live.
just as bad. YouTube
Everything's
is
under
threatened to
live
take us.
border.
Go ahead.
Everything's under live border news.
Live
Those,
border news.
yep.
Okay.
And then I also have live border news on Facebook as well. So it's not just under my name, but I have the live border news right there as well.
Yeah, but they'll take that away in a hot
Well,
minute or a second.
I actually got threatened by Facebook, and I turned around and I sent out a notification to their corporate office, and I said, you know what? I said, here's my news credentials. So I'm actually a reporter. So I gave my news credentials, and I said, you guys are sitting there monitoring me, trying to say, this is not true or that's not true. I said, what part of my video footage is not true?
Right.
said,
It's right there in front of you.
I said, this is live streamed. How can you guys dispute it? So I got a notification from Facebook saying we made a mistake, blah blah blah. You know, their reasoning, and since then they have not hounded me once. And
Interesting.
probably because I live record it. That's probably why they can't dispute live feed. They can't say I cut and edited it or try to make it look like something it's not.
Yes, they can. They've taken
right
me
there.
down in the middle of a live stream. They've taken it
Really?
down because they didn't like. I was talking to Mike Lindell or whatever, fill in the blank. It has just ended. So yes, they can.
Yep. Actually, I'll take that back. We just did a live feed where they totally muted it. That's right. We were interviewing the rancher up there in Arivaca that's been all over Fox News, where we have now got a security team in place to protect the rancher because he's had nothing but cartel coming in on his property. The cartels threatened him and his wife. They actually broke into his home, and I posted that on Facebook, the live feed as well. So they ended up cutting the sound to it, the whole 9 yards. So we automatically went over to recording, and then we recorded it and put it in a different format and still submitted it. And it's still up to this day.
Good.
But I'm surprised.
And that is Live Border News on Facebook, Live Border News on YouTube, Live Border News on Rumble.
Yep.
Okay.
And then also under Johnathon, Townsend, Alexander on Facebook as well.
And we have also February 3rd. February 3rd is when we need people to show up en masse. And you get all the details where? Do you have a website? Where can we get all the information on this?
We do, and I'll get that sent over to you as well. I didn't have it prepared for today. Sorry. We just got it up. We're technically announcing everything in 2 days from now, but it already got leaked out, so they said at this point it doesn't matter. That's why I shared it with you.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because
but we'll have the
watching
website
right now who might want to be involved, might want to show up there. Freedom Rider 1776 calling you out right now.
Matter of fact,
Arizona.
At the end of this broadcast, I'll send you over the link as soon as I go into my emails and stuff, and I'll send you over the link for it.
Okay.
And I'd like to get you involved as well. And if any of you or your team want to come down to the border, we're making a trip this Friday again with some senators.
Okay.
If you guys want to come down to the front lines, witness it, film it, whatever you want to do, I'd be honored to have you right beside us down there on the border.
I'd be honored to be there with you, my friend. You're just such an admirable gentleman and a great patriot. And thank you for all that you do. And may God bless you and keep you safe and all the people who are working with you, my friend. And may he bring some money to help support what's going on too. Cause I know, everybody's putting their own dollar into this, and it'd be nice to be able to get some support. And you said we can do that through Facebook.
Yep.
So, Jonathan,
and I know I'm kind of hoarse today, Charlie. I've been out in the field a long time, so
I know you were. You just got back.
I'm just starting to get my voice back.
Jonathan Townsend Alexander, thank you, my friend. I'm
It's
Charlie
an honor to be
Simons.
here. Thank you, sir.
I'm Charlie Simons. This is Do Not Talk, talking about two things you're never supposed to talk about: religion and politics, and what's going on the border. Follow that man. Get involved, would you please? We need to be aware because your NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is never going to tell you. You know why? They like what's going on. They're all about the Saul Alinsky rules for radical, the Communist Manifesto. Don't doubt me. I've worked in the media my entire life and for big networks, ABC, CBS. I know what they're all about.